Well, just yesterday I saw the movie Spotlight, which is the Boston Globe uh, doing investigative journalism and reminding everybody why investigative journalism is essential in a democracy and in a world that wants free speech. And I know that newspapers have been sit down a little while, but in the past few years. But it's important that actual journalists, no matter what their field of journalism, not the TMZs of the world, although to do what uh, they to do what the real investigative journalists do. You need to allow the TMZs of the world to exist, and well, that's the kind of world we live in. You need your New York Times and your Boston Globes, uh, as and you can't stop the National Enquirer's uh, right to do what they do, because if you can do it to the National Enquirer, you can do it to any respectable journalistic place, um, paper or otherwise. Now, the actors, or should I start with the story? Well, the story is the Boston Globe's special section of reporters known as the Spotlight Team, hence the name of the movie, um, looking into and eventually publishing the story about how the Catholic Church, which I'm going to get into this whole thing about them like controlling Boston, and I say this as a New York uh, as a New Yorker who is Jewish. I don't really get that. I mean, it's the church. I understand that there are a lot of Catholics in Boston, and it was a great in joke when Cardinal Law gives Liv Shriver's character, here's what you need to know to understand the city of Boston, and it's a guide to Catholicism or something like that. And well, and I don't get it. How? I mean, I know it's a religion, and I know it's a and like many people live there, but I don't understand in the city where basically the actual Boston Tea Party was took place in. How could a religion run this town? It doesn't make sense, and that Boston really is a small town. I've been in Boston. Boston is not a small town. Boston is an envious town that wants to be New York. I'm sorry, Bostonians. Um, if any Bostonians hear this, um, that's what uh, that's what it is. Um, and But that's getting off the point. Now, um, we have great actors here. We have Michael Keaton, Liv Shriver, Mark Ruffalo, Rachel McAdams, Brian D'Arcy James. I think I pronounced that right. Stanley Tucci as the lawyer they go to interview about the case, because he's the one bringing a class action suit, and he's like, "They'll bury you." When did the Catholic Church become the mafia? They kept like referring to it. They will take you out. They will bring you out. I'm like, it's the Catholic Church. It's the Catholic Church. in the 21st century, not the 12th or 11th century or 13th century. This doesn't make any sense to me. But then again, like I say, I'm Jewish and I'm from New York, and um, religion is a private thing in this city. Not no one. There's no like central control. There's no one place to go to. You just go to your place of worship. And if you find out that you're the head of your place of worship is a crook, you either fire him or you join a new place of worship. So to the actors, now the leader of Spotlight is played by Michael Keaton, and every time I saw this, I kept thinking, he's Batman. Not that I mean I know in 1989 he played it, but it's the same. He's giving the same type of performance that he gave in Batman to this character. I'm not going to be denied. I will do what I need to do to get at the truth, and I will bring you down. And um, like I say, they eventually they break the story. There was it was a little delayed because 9/11 happened, and they couldn't spare uh, any other reporters, so they had to send some of the reporters on Spotlight down to cover what happened in Florida. With the flying, with the training to fly uh, part of the story in South Florida, um, in Broward County. But it's just when Mark Ruffalo says it could have been you, it could have been me, it could have been any of us. Of course, they're mostly Catholic uh, related. The newspaper people are mostly Catholic, except for like Liv Shriver, who they say that he was at the New York Times. He had just come up to run the paper from Miami, and he's Jewish. And during one scene, you feel like you're getting um, an anti-Semitic feeling from the guy telling you who is this guy coming in here, the type of things that like. I mean, there are other people besides religious wise, and I'm not sure if I should include atheists in this because I'm not sure that the atheists would like to hear that. But uh, religious wise, there are more than just Catholics who live in Boston. Uh, so yeah, that's my weird attempt at a Boston accent at 7:04 p.m. on a day that's been raining here in New York. Um, anyhow, uh, so the movie is great. I think it should be nominated for Best Picture. And this is it. Like I say, this is why we need good journalists in the world, whether they are newspaper men and women, or whether they are internet people or television people. You need to actually have good journalists doing their jobs, keeping America honest and the world honest. And when they don't, and when the world is not honest, them finding out why and telling everybody. So great performance, A plus. Thank you everybody.